Principle of programming in advanced C and C++ and Java. Only C content I have written here, that is advanced operations on pointer, illegal operations on pointer, pointer and array, pointer and string, pointer and function, pointer and structure, then pointer to pointer, infinite pointer, and pointer to structure, nested structure, hash pragma pack1, type def, linked list overview I will give, and union and practical application of union. This is the actually advanced C content. Just start with the basic. We'll just start with the basic. Okay, so before I start, I just want to tell you what is data structure, because here we want to start with the data. We will be declaring the variable, we'll be declaring integer, we'll be declaring floating point. That is all our data type. So these all are having, data is having one structure, all the data will be having one structure. So that is only the data structure. So just before I start, I will just give a brief recap of all the basic concepts. So first is, what is data structure? Data structure is a method of storing and organizing data in a computer so that it can be accessed and manipulated efficiently. Okay, and data structure can be classified into two types. One is primitive, one is non-primitive. So under the non-primitive data structure, we have the integer, character, floating point, and under the non-primitive data structure, we have that array, linked list, all those things. So non-primitive is divided into two parts. One is linear and another one is non-linear. So linear is nothing but array, stack, queues, and non-linear is nothing but tree and graphs. So all of you introduced with those data structure?
Yes, miss.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, very good. So just a second. Okay, so first we will start with first, one second, basic of C, that is conditional statement. First of all, you tell me, what do you mean by condition? Anyone, please make the session interactive. All of you, please participate,
Miss,
and tell me what you mean by condition.
Miss, when two or more outputs are required, or when two or more outputs comes, we need a condition in order to have those outputs incorrectly.
Okay. Anyone? Anyone else?
Ma'am, condition is what?
Okay.
And conclude that what is the true statement or what is false statement.
Okay. So condition. What do you mean by condition? Condition means I will be giving you one bangle. Okay. So in the cost of bangle, you give me one cutter. So is it a condition? Yes or no? Yes or no? I will give you a bangle, you give me a cutter. Okay. Then I will be give you two bangle. And in place of that, you just give me two candles. Okay. So this is a condition. Okay. So like that, I can have many conditions. Like if you are giving me one bangle, my condition is I will give you a cutter. If you give me two bangles, I will be giving you two candles. So like that, there may be many conditions you can arise, which can arise in your life. Okay. Suppose that I am telling you, you want to go to cinema hall, and for that you have some options, like you may go by bus. If bus is not available, you may go by car. If car is not, like, you may book Ola, shared Ola. If shared Ola is not available, you may book for taxi. So your personal taxi. So in this case, you can feel that there is some condition. If this is available, you are going by this. If this is not available, you are going for other option. If this is also not available, you are going for some other option. So this is nothing but conditional, and what happens is always while telling, I will tell you the question types what will be asked in the interview also, because especially this training is so that it helps you for facing the interview. So they will tell you one scenario in industry. Yesterday I was there in the session, you were asking like how some if else or switch case, normal basic things we are studying, how it will be implemented in company, how they will ask you the question. They may give you one scenario, there some condition is there, so you need to understand that for understanding the need of condition, like there is something, if it happens then this will happen, if it doesn't happen then it will not happen. So to understand that condition, you need to go for conditional statement. Okay, so you have 3 conditional statement, as I will try to make it hands on. So I will be even posting the link of the programs also, so that you can just copy it with me tomorrow, and you can along with me you can execute the programs also. Okay, so let us see one if else. And in this context, I would like to tell you what is that conio.h. It is console input output .h, and stdio.h is standard input output .h is for header file. Okay, so before I tell you something about it, I will tell I have made a video on preprocessor directive, so you can go through it from the Google Classroom. So before that, just I will tell you one story so that you should never forget. Before you start your class, what you need a teacher. So preprocessor directive #include is just like a teacher for you for the program. Okay, which will tell, your teacher will tell you go to the library and include some book with you. Suppose you want to start studying the maths. Okay, so your teacher will tell you go and take maths book number 1, maths book number 2, like that. Okay, so your conio.h or stdio.h is some file where the meaning of the program, like meaning of the program means, see int, you can see in white letter, in white color int is getting printed. All of you can see. Please be interactive. Please speak out instead of chatting. Please
Yes, ma'am.
so
Yes, ma'am.
if, else, int, all these are coming in white color. So these are the keywords. This keyword is having some meaning. Int means what? Allocate 2 bytes of memory. How, when you are writing int number, 2 bytes of memory are getting allocated in memory? How it is happening? Because someone, designer, has written the meaning of integer in the stdio.header file. Just you imagine there is a file where the program is written for what has to be done if the declaration is int. Okay, there are many students who are from other disciplines. Am I able to address you? Anyone from other department, like not from CSC or ECE, mechanical department, anybody? Up to that is understandable?
I am from mechanical.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
From mechanical.
Okay. So it is like integer. Very good, students. So this meaning, like integer means what? That allocate 2 bytes of memory, as if the line of the program is, if you write allocate 2 bytes of memory, as if 2 bytes of memory will be allocated. So int type 1 function is created in stdio, and in that it is written that what has to be done for if somebody is writing int in the program. So these all are given in the library, as if you have included, teacher has told you to include the book, so that while solving the maths you can get all the help from stdio.h. So similarly here you will get the help of, compiler will get the help of what has to be done for integer, if, else, all those things. Okay, CLR, SCR, what has to be done? CLR, SCR is clear screen, whose meaning is, it is a function. So if you see one open bracket and close bracket, you can understand it is a function. Okay, so its meaning is written in console input output.h. So void main is something which is called main function. Main is a function. How do I understand that it is a function? If you can see one opening brace and one closing brace after a name, you must understand it is a function. So what is main function? Main function is initiator of any C program. So when you want to initiate any program, you must have to write main. Now question comes where main has to be written, whether it is in the beginning or it is in the middle or end of the program. You can write your void main anywhere in your program. No, not necessary that in the beginning you have to write. But suppose if your void main is here after this bracket, and here there is some other function. Let's say here there is some other function add, and your main is here. Your main is here. Main function is here. So what will happen? Your program execution will start from this line only. Okay. So main is the
Yes,
initiator as like a teacher. Okay. So this is main, and it is case sensitive. You have to use these keywords are already specified in the standard library function as small letter. So you have to give it small letter. Coming to the integer variable declaration, you can use any name for integer, but that must start with a character like A, B, C, D, any alphabets. Okay, not character, any alphabets. After that, you can use numbers or any special symbols, but it should not start with any other thing other than like A to Z something, capital or small. You are allowed to use capital. You are allowed to use capital letters here because it is your own definition. You want to give a name for integer, so here in this case you can use capital. But I will tell you, avoid using capital letters. Always go for using small letters. Okay. Okay. So this is int. So I will tell you, don't feel bored. Moment you are feeling bored, you should tell me just one word, ma'am, change it. I have kept quiz session for you. I have kept some fun session for you. If you want to have a look just after this program to remove your monotony, I have kept fun session and quiz session. So immediately we'll switch to. Okay, studies should never be monotonous. Okay, so then I told you that we are doing this program, we are writing for if else. We have 4 type of if else conditional statement. What all conditional statement? Just now we have seen that first conditional statement was, one second, first conditional statement was if. I have written here, first conditional statement was if else, then if else if ladder, then third one was nested if. Okay, so first one we are doing now, if statement, which is having just if and else 2 parts. Okay, so clear screen is used for what? Okay, we have taken one integer and name we have given a number, so one memory is allocated. How much byte of memory will be allocated? 2 bytes of memory will be allocated. There will be one confusion, you know, the size of the integer. Usually, ideally, it is for 32-bit system or 64-bit system, it will be 4 byte only. But better way to know the size of integer for your system is, sometimes it depends on the compiler you are using. So you will be getting integer size as 2. Be very careful. If you want to know what is the size of your integer, you can just use a size of operator. I will show you, and you can just check size of what is the size of integer. Okay, so let us start with the program explanation. I'm asking user to enter one integer. I'm scanning the number. Okay, what is the meaning of scanning? The details I have included in video. As of now, I won't tell because it will be so long, and our plan is to start from advanced C, which is and where we are doing just basic. So I should not continue basic for a long time. So that is the only reason I have made the video. So scanf will read the variables from the keyboard, from the monitor, from the keyboard. Whatever input will be given, that will be written in the computer memory. So it will be stored in the addressed location. Like when somebody coming from outside to your house, you are telling them that please go to the address, the 308, this lane number, and 308 house number, and this number and all. So integer in the number is already allocated memory. Number is already, if you can switch to other screen, I can just show you once. If you can once switch to other screen, I can just show you once. Okay, if other screen is visible. Is it visible to everyone?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
You can just see here, if when you are writing int number, in this case I would have written in notepad also, but we can't write so fast there, and drawing also is not so easily possible. So what will happen in the memory, somewhere in the memory, if this is your memory, somewhere in the memory 2 bytes of memory, 2 consecutive bytes of memory, wherever it is available. Okay, wherever it is available. To let you know the meaning of wherever it is available, I will tell you. Let's say this is, I have given one seed, these 2 memories are allocated, so, and this memory is also allocated. So if I want to allocate one integer, okay, let us take this one, this is little bigger, let us take this one. So let's say this memory is occupied, this memory is also occupied. So do I have 2 continuous bytes here present? No, I don't have. So what I have to do, I have to allocate for integer these 2 bytes. Which are the 2 bytes? These 2 bytes I have to allocate. I have just used Chocos. So 2 bytes of memory I have to allocate, 2 consecutive bytes. Okay, now because this here I have 2 bytes of memory, but it is not continuous memory. Okay, that is why I have chosen, not I have chosen, compiler will choose these 2 bytes of memory. Okay, so like that memory allocation happens. Details I have given. So just stop this screen. Okay, come back to the program. Okay, so in this you can see we have scanned a number. Now we are checking whether the number is less than 0 or not. So if the number is less than 0, you are printing the number. If else part, what is else part? If number is not less than 0, then else part will be executed. Okay, so so this program will ask you to enter one integer. So I'm compiling it. So if anyone, you are new to Turbo C, you may not be new to Turbo C because you must be at least in 3rd semester. You have already covered C programming. So you need to first compile. You can, all of you can have the software with you. Please install it in your system or your mobile also, Dev C++ or Turbo C++, whatever. So here I am just giving one integer, that is 4, and it should show me, it is, if it is less than 0, you see here in the program, if it is less than 0, what will be printed? You entered %d. You entered %d means you entered will be printed, then %d will be replaced by the variable value. So variable value is number here. So whatever the value you have given as a number, like you have entered just now, like 4, so that will come here. You entered 4 if the number is less than 0. But you have given 4 which is not less than 0. So which part will work out? Else part will work out. So what will be the output? Expected output, number is positive and cannot be printed. So let us check whether it is correct or not. So see here, as we have given a positive number, so what is the output coming? Number is positive and cannot be printed because we have given a positive number. Else part has got executed. So let us execute the same program. Let us execute the same program for a negative number. Let me give -7 and check the output. Let me give -7 and check the output. See, you entered -7. So if part is true now, if condition is true, so what will happen? First part is getting executed. So what will be your output? The statement under if because the if condition is true, so statement under if will be executed. Okay, let us close it. All of you just go through once. Just give half minute time to see the program and tell me it is understandable or not. Tanmay Ghosh, did you understood? Unmute yourself.
Yes, ma'am.
Tanmay? Okay, Tirthojyoti. Okay, Shupriya Roy. Understood. All of you,
Yes,
please
ma'am.
participate and tell me you are
Yes,
not
ma'am.
understanding.
Understood.
Yes,
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 ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Any moment you can unmute and let
Yes,
me know
ma'am.
if you have not understood. Maybe always yes, telling yes is not possible. So no, you should not hesitate to tell me. Anytime you stop me and say,
Okay,
I
ma'am.
have not understood, stop and explain from that point. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Okay,
If you are
ma'am.
leaving because of poor connection, just come back and just let me know that you were not part of it for few minutes. So I'll be giving a recap of that. Okay, so next program for simplicity, what I have done is here only I have given the second program.
Ma'am,
Anyone is talking?
Ma'am, can we use Visual Studio for the intercompilation purpose?
You can use, but I will not use. It is better you can use DevC++. It is easy to download. DevC++ you can use.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. It is easy.
Okay. So you see here the second program. In that also we have taken a number, and if you are able to tell me, I will not execute the program. We have taken a number. We are just scanning a number. And this number we are taking modulus with 2. And if the modulus is equals to 0, then we are telling that the number is an even integer. Okay, number means the number is there after the quotation comma we have given and given number. So %d or format specifier, this also I have explained in the video, all the basics. So this number will be replaced by format specifier. Number will replace format specifier %d. So number, if you have entered 4, so your output will be 4 is an even integer. %d will be taking place of number. So 4 is an even integer will be printed. Okay. So if you want me to execute, or I will go to the next if else statement. Want me to execute? Here, if the number is number modulus 2 means what? Anyone, can you tell me what is the meaning of modulus?
Ma'am, remainder comes.
Ma'am, it is the
After the
remainder.
dividing, remainder comes.
Yes, if modulus means remainder operator, if you divide one number by 2 and is there any remainder, means that will come as result of the modulus operation. So 3 modulus 2 will be 1, 5 modulus 2 will be 1, whereas any even number modulus 2 will be equals to 0. Okay, so in this case what I will do is, here I can just close this and I can execute, but better I will go for next program because these both are same only. So you can easily understand that if I am giving any even number, then if condition will be true, because the number will be divided by 2 and remainder will be 0 if number is even number. So first condition will be executed and first printf will be executed. And if not means any odd number, means the number value like 3 is an odd integer will be printed. I have kept all the programs in the same file because I cannot open again and again one by one files. It will consume time. Okay, so we'll just next program we will activate. You can also do like that, how I am doing for saving time. See, now next program is activated. So in this, what we are doing, you see, we are just discussing what is nested if else. Okay, nested if else is how it is executing. If number 1, I am not repeating the next thing, just give one overview on the, just give a view on the program. See, we have taken two numbers, number 1 and number 2. We are asking user to enter two numbers and we are scanning two numbers, that is number 1 and number 2. Then we are checking if the numbers are equals, then we are printing result equals to result colon %d equals to %d. What is the meaning of %d equals to %d? Who will tell me? first if statement meaning
Ma'am, both
I
the
want
numbers are
one.
same.
Both the numbers are same.
Yes,
Suppose
ma'am.
I have entered 4 and 4. Okay, so 4 and 4, I want one. Anyone are from Triple E branch? Anyone is there from Triple E branch? No one is there from Triple E branch. Okay, so what I want is, see in Google form, what pre-assessment I have taken. In that I have given your branch. You must write your branch name there. Okay, so that I will have an idea and I can specially concentrate you on you. You are special for me because you have joined the training for CSE, so you are very special. So everyone is special, but you are very special that you have special interest on this stream. So I can take special care. So in the Google form, when you will be writing your pre-assessment test today after 8:30, so you have to mention. I have kept the field mandatory. Okay, come back. So int number 1 and number 2, two numbers we are taking, and we are entering 2 integers. Okay, so we are asking user to enter 2 integers. So number 1 and number 2 we are scanning. Then what we are doing, we are checking if number 1 is equals to number 2 or not. If they are equals, what we are printing, see result colon then 2% D. Can all of you see 2% D's are there? So 1% D will be replaced by number 1, then equals to, as it is will be printed because whole thing is in the inverted comma double quote, and then second % D will be replaced by number 2. So as suppose you have entered 4 and 4, so your result will be result colon 4 equals to 4. So similarly, see here as two numbers are getting compared, there can be three possible things. So one possible thing we have taken under if, second possible thing we have given under else if, and third thing is like rest of the things. For rest of the cases, what will be printed is number 1 is lesser than number 2. So they are not equals, they are not greater, so they must be lesser. So let us execute the program. Let us execute the program. One second. Redeclaration of main. Somewhere some other program is activated, so it is giving problem. 1 second. So star slash. 1 second. Maybe the next program got activated. That is why we are getting this error. Slash star. So now we will compile the program. So as I have written too many programs, you don't practice that because it will confuse you, but just for saving time, now we are running the program. So enter 2 integers. It may trouble you every time I have not written CLR SCR. So please consider this. First 2 lines you just neglect. Enter 2 integers. So you are entering 2 integers. Just enter 4. Give some space. Then like press space bar and then give 4, and let us see what is the output. So what result we are getting is result colon 4 equals to 4. Okay, so which for loop has executed? Any one of you? Which for loop has executed? Sorry,
Ma'am, the
which
first
if
one.
has executed if or else?
Ma'am, the first
If
one.
condition
First one got executed. Anupam, are you understanding? Anupam? Or it's
Yes, ma'am.
understandable?
Yes, ma'am.
Vibhakar, are you understanding? Debojyoti, Devlina?
Ma'am,
Malay,
can we put
is it
any
Yes.
digit number or only single digit number?
Okay. So now we will just close it. Now we will execute it. We will just execute it one more times, and we will give 6 and 8. So what will be the output if we are giving 6 and 8? what will be the output? Output will be 6 is lesser than 8. So which one has executed? If, else if, or else?
Else, I think.
Second one.
Else condition.
Yes. Very good. Else part has got executed. So similarly, if I would have given 8 and 6, then my else if would have got executed. Okay, my else if would have got executed. So if I would have given opposite like 9 and 7, my else if would have got, else if is the middle one, that would have got executed. So I would have got the output 9 is greater than 7. Okay, we'll proceed to the next one. Next one is nested if else. First of all, I would like to know from any one of you what is nested if else. Can you please tell me what is nested if else?
Ma'am, nested if else can be referred to as the if else ladder.
Nested?
Ma'am, nested if else can be referred to as the if else ladder.
Condition
Let's
inside
go ahead.
condition.
Then the condition inside the other condition will be the if.
Nested if else is condition inside a condition.
Yes, it is a condition inside a condition. Number 1, we have taken two numbers. If number 1 is greater than number 2, in this case we will be entering inside if. And in this case, if number 1 is equals to number 2, then the result will be number 1 equals to number 2. Is it understandable? When we will enter inside if the number 1 is greater than number 2. Let's say we have entered two numbers, that is one is 100, one is 20. So 100 is greater than 20, so we have entered inside the if. Okay, now see here, after entering inside if, I have two if else statement. One is if, another one is else. So this is nested by, see, this is the starting bracket of if and this is the ending bracket of if. This is the ending bracket of if. In between if, I have one if statement and I have one else statement. Okay, so if number 1 is greater than number 2, in this case I have two possibility. One is they are greater or equals to, so either they will be equals to or they will be greater. So if they are equals to, we will be printing 100 equals to. If they are equals to, suppose we have entered 100 and 100, so it will be 100 equals to 100. If not, we will be like 120, then it will be printing as 100 greater than 20. Okay, and else part is true for if their first one is lesser than second one. So else part will be executing for the last option, that is number 1 is lesser than number 2. Okay, so this is if else, 3 cases. Now we will go for our next one, that is we will try to design a simple calculator, and in this case we will be using operator. We will be using switch case for the character. Okay, so what is switch case? Switch case is as if you have so many switches in your switch case. Please let us understand what is switch case statement. Switch case is just like we have many switches. So if I am pressing switch number 1, I am switching on the fan. Number 2 means I am switching on the light. Number 3 means I am switching on heater or something like that. Okay, so here you have to similarly, what you have to do is, what we are doing, see, we are taking one character inside the main. All of you come inside the main and we are taking one character, and character name we are giving operator. So operator is the variable of character type which is working on switch statement. Like if operator is plus, where the control will go? Control will go to plus. Okay, there is first case called case plus. second case is minus. So when you are scanning your operator, if somebody user is entering operator minus, so directly your control will come from this point to minus. If you are pressing, someone is pressing star, directly your compiler will come from this point to star. Okay, so similarly, if you are giving division, your compiler will come to this case. And it is not like, if you are giving the case division, so compiler will first check plus is true or not, then minus is true or not, or division multiplication is true or not. That will never happen. When the compiler will check operator is division and it is matching from one of the cases out of 4 cases. Here one case is there for division, so directly control will enter from these two. Directly control will enter from these to this point. Control is understandable by everyone. How control is getting jumped? Yes or no? Control is not coming through plus, minus and star. So you are saving the execution time. If it is if else, you would have checked if this is equals to plus or not. Then else if it is equals to minus or not. Else if it is equals to star or not. But what you are doing here is your control is shifting from operator is division. So directly you are coming to the case division and you are executing the statement, that is n1, n2. You are printing n1 and n2 are what? 2 numbers on which you are performing the operation. Okay, you have asked user to enter two things. One is the operator you want to work on, because you are designing a binary calculator. So you are just restricted yourself here. You have restricted yourself here on plus, minus, star and division operations. So these are the one input for this program. Another input is the 2 numbers between which you want to perform the desired operation, plus or minus or whatever. So your 2 inputs are, one is operator and another one is 2 operands, like 2 numbers. Okay, so if your output is division, you will hit the 4th case and 4th case will be executed. So what will be the question asked from that is, what are the options for the operator? Can we have a integer variable, floating point, double, character, long, any variable used as op? Like whether all the kind of variables can be working with switch. So are you aware of the answer? Anyone?
Yes, miss. But except special characters, we can use everything.
Abhishek, it is like you can use only integer and character. You are allowed to use special character also. Only integer and character, Kaushiki. You can just as op, you can have a case here. You can have a case hash here. Okay, you can have a case hash here. Even you can have a case. Many questions in interview will be asked from switch case. Okay, they will start asking from switch case. They will start asking from the very basics. What is the meaning of declaration of integer? Will you be able to draw the memory map for that or not? Okay, so this is the another question I am asking you. Is this possible? Yes, this is also possible. Here the integer is what I am using is integer, but integer is getting used as a character. When you are giving integer in between a single quote, it will be acting as a character variable. Okay, so any special character, any integer can be taken as character as a case. So again I will repeat, switch statement will work on only integer or switch statement will work on only integer. It means what? Your op can be equals to integer or your op can be equals to a character. Only this much. You are not you are not supposed to go beyond this limit. It cannot be float, double, or any other data type. Now coming to integer, it is normal integer. You don't need to give any quotation here. Okay, coming to integer, so if your op is a integer, so you can use any case here. You can use any case here by giving any number, any integer number. You can have 100, you can have 100, you can have 1000, you can have 1. So that is about integer. Character, you have just now seen, you can use any number as character, you can use any special symbol as character, you can use plus minus, because we are doing just basic operation on numbers, so you can use that. So one more thing I will tell you, which is, so what was there here? Here we had a plus. One more important thing is, suppose if we are taking integer here, character means I told all the cases of character, it can be number or special symbol or normal character. If it is integer, I can have 1000 here, I can have 100 here. next case, just you overlook this one, I can have 1. Okay, just overlook this. I can have next case as 1. So it is, what I try to mean is, what they ask in interview is, first one is 1000, then is 1, then next case I am using maybe 50, and fourth case I am using 150. Is it allowed? Do I need to arrange the cases in order? No, it is not necessary. Why it is not necessary? Because switch case is just a blind operation. Operator is 1000 means case 1000 will be executed. Okay, operator is 1 means directly second case will hit. So this case, what operation I have the operation n1 minus, I have the operation n1 minus n2. Very simple, I don't need to show you the execution, but you can see here what we are printing, n1 and n2. So suppose user has entered 5 and 3, so 5 and 3 will be printed, 5 will be printed, then 3 will be printed, then 5 minus 3, that is 2 will be printed. Okay, so it is not related to. And one more thing, you don't feel that to perform binary operation I have to go for the case which is numbered as character. Not necessary. I can take here 1000, 2000, 5000 also, and I can ask user, you just if your option is plus, you press 1000. If your option is minus, press 2000. That also can be done if I want to write the case number as 1000, 2000. I'll give you one small example. Like in your class, suppose in your third semester, your student strength is suppose 200. Okay, so when user will be entering third semester, you can give the choice. They can directly enter the number of students in that stream, or they can use the semester number. So in both way, you can keep the instance of the case. This 200, this 1, 2, these are called the instance of the case. Okay, so they will ask you what is case instance. And one more thing about case instance is, case instance cannot be same. Like you cannot have case 1, then again you cannot have case 1 once again. Okay, so let us come back to what we have started with. Any doubt in switch case, you can please ask. Please feel free to ask. I'm doing bit faster because this is not the content of your training. We'll start with advanced C. Yes.
And what does %1 LF means?
This is for, see here, I have taken here double. Okay. It is a format specifier for double. As for printing integer, you will be giving %d. For double, you will be giving LF. Now the question is, what is that 0.1? Sorry, I missed to tell you. I have just missed. 0.1 means after decimal, you will be having 1 point. Like it will be printed number. If you are giving 3.222, it will be printed as 3.2. After decimal, only 1 point will be taken. So if you don't give this, if you give only LF, it will be printing you the double value whatever you have entered, like 3.5, 6, 7, 8, 9, something you have given, that will be printed. But if you are giving 1, it means only after 0.1 decimal place, it is called 1 decimal place will be taken. Okay, is it clear?
Miss, if in the case 1 we will write small a and in the case 2 we will write capital A, will it be accepted?
Yes, it will be accepted. It will be accepted. Okay, if you are giving here A and if you are giving here small a, it will also be accepted. But you need to remember that if you want to perform addition operation, you have to press capital A. If you want to perform subtraction operation, you have to press small a. So you need to give some communication statement. User, you are a user, you are the designer, Abhishek. You are designing a program for me who is illiterate, who doesn't know anything. So you need to write the proper statement for communication so that user can understand. But logically, you can always write it. Any other doubt in this case?
Ma'am, can we write more than one character? Since we have written a small a,
No.
Can we write ADD? It's like that?
No, character is only one always. Okay, character means it is only one character. Character cannot be 2. Okay, character means it should be 1. It can be integer, it can be like integer means it will be converted to its ASCII value. Okay, so it can never be more than 1. You cannot write ABC. It will be taken as string, and string is not allowed data type for a switch statement. Only character and integer is allowed. But when it is integer, you are allowed to write up to the range of integer, that is 32,667. So that much of range of integer you are allowed to write, but you cannot write more than one character here. Okay, am I clear? Okay, coming to default case, we have not given break for default case. Okay, and can anyone tell me what is the necessity of break here? Why we have given the break statement after writing everything?
If we not use break statement, then the under the case all the statements are executed.
That is fine. Next, any other things?
Means it sends the control out of the loop.
Yes, very true. It will go out of the loop. Break statement is what? So you will be learning one more statement, that is break. The work function of break is it will take the control out of the switch case. Okay, so what will happen is if case capital A is true, you will be directly going out of the loop. Where you will come here. Your control will come. You will be here. Okay, you can see the cursor. You will be coming here. Okay, so what is the advantage for giving break? If you would not have given break, what would have happened is, if your first statement is true, like if your A case is true, so what would have happened is, if you have not given break, you would have gone through case small a also, case star also you would have come across, and you would have come across case division also. So your motto is to save the time. Whichever case you want to, like it is just a trial and error. I have entered in a new room. I don't know the switch, which switch is for which one. So I will be going through all the switch. It is not like that. On the top of the switch, level should be there. I will see the level and click on the switch. So that is why the name is given as switch case. Which case? Case is here switching on the fan. Fan is moving is a case, whereas the pressing switch is the option for case. Okay, so if break is not there, control will not go out of the loop. So you will be going through all the cases, and just imagine if you have 10-20 cases. So you will be going, first case is true means you will be unnecessarily going through all the lines, which is not desired. Now coming to the last, that is default case, we have not given break. Why default case we have not given break means you are allowed to give a break after default statement, and default is just like else for if else. So if no cases are true, you cannot keep all the cases possible cases. So what are the other possibility? For that possibility, default case will be executing. Okay, so see, main is ending here, so you are coming to the end. Okay, I will just try executing.
Ma'am,
Tell me.
ma'am, if we did not give the break statement, and in this case default will execute or not? Ma'am, if we will not
We
give
don't
any
give
break
break
statement,
statement, what will happen? All see, case will be checked with star. Case will be checked. Yes, is it the case? No, it is not the case. So it will come to the default case. It will come to the default case. But whether it will execute or not, what is your opinion?
ma'am, if suppose there is case A, I give the in operation, I give case A, then and I did not give the break statement, then all the cases
Okay.
will get executed, and I have confusion whether
All the cases will not be.
Ma'am, if-
Who is talking? May I know your name?
ma'am, Shubham.
Shubham.
Hello.
Okay. See, Shubham, all the cases control will pass through. Not that cases will be executed. Control will pass through. Okay. But it will not be. One second. It will not be executing. Why it will not be executing? Because those cases are not true. Those cases are not true. You have just given only one operator. That operator is A or B. A or small a or a star or division or whatever. Okay, but you have not given these options, so it will not be executing. Okay, it will not be executing. One second. Anything is on? Yes, this is on. One second. I will just off it. Okay, so you just enter your operator plus minus. Just enter your operator plus minus star. Let's say I want to give star operator. Now it is asking me two operands. So I am giving 4.8 and one more I am giving 4. Okay, I will just give 1 second. 4 points so that we can understand. 4.8 and 3. Let's say 3.0. Check with the output. See, the output is coming 12. We have given the case star, so output is coming 12. Okay, is it understandable? Now I will make the changes. First, what I think Abhishek has asked, I will make that change. I will give now A. Let us see it is executing or not. If not, we will think we are wrong. Okay, and we'll correct according to that. Let's say I am giving 2.0 and I am giving 4.0. Okay, so let us check the output. What is the output, Abhishek? 2.0 plus 4.0 equals to 6.0. So A is working. One non-related case value I have given because I was knowing that in place of plus you want A to be operated. Is it clear for everyone? If not, you just tell me. First, one by one, I will clarify the doubts.
Yes, miss.
Abhijit. Because of time, I'm unable to take everyone's name, but doesn't mean that I'm not addressing all of you. Okay, all of you, did you understand this? I have given capital A, but still the operation performed here is plus. Okay. Okay, as you asked, I will try if this time it doesn't get hacked. Okay, so in this we will be removing the break statement. I will remove this break statement. Here also I will be removing the break statement. Here also I will be removing the break statement.
Ma'am, you can make the comment line.
Tell me. Yeah, I could have made the comment line. One second, leave. I have given. No problem. Give once again. Compilation, no error. Now we will run. Okay. We will enter the operator. Let's say operator is star, and we'll give 2.0 and we'll give 3.0 and we'll check the output. Error, operator is not correct. So it is clearly seen that you have just pardon me with that, because it is like, see here, I have not given that this thing and all, so it is coming continuously. Hope you can understand. So 2 into 3 equals to 6 is coming, then 2 divided by 3 equals to 0.7 is coming, then error, operator is not correct is coming. Is the output understandable by everyone? We have removed the break.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
your case is hitting to multiplication, right? Then you have removed
Yes, ma'am.
break. So it is going to division also. Division is also happening. Then default, then also no break. After division also we have not given break. So error, this is the default part where the error operator is not correct is present. So this is coming. So it means if you are not giving break, control is passing through all the lines foolishly, blindly, and it is giving us, leading to us a wrong output. So if your default case is only true, then no problem. If your default case is true, then no problem. But if any one of the case is true among all the cases you have mentioned, it will create a problem. Okay. I think we are going very slow because our intention is not at all to go with this. Intention was to go with this. So for while, do while. So is there any problem from anyone? Please let me know so that we can start with the next one. We'll start with the loop control statement. We have 3 loop. See, don't get confused between conditional and loop control. Okay, loop control means every loop, every iteration. What is the meaning of iteration? Iteration means if value of some value is something, you are doing some work. If the value is incremented to something, again you are repeating the work. Then you are incrementing some counter value to again +1 or -1, and again you are repeating the same thing. You are keep on repeating the same thing again and again. But in the case of if else or switch, you are not repeating same thing. Checking condition and taking decision is what conditional statement is. Okay, and loop control means you are continuously performing the same operation. Okay, you have 3 loop control statement, for while and do while. All of you are aware of it, but still one second. For loop, your for loop will start with I equals to 0. You can take any variable. I am not writing complete program now because this is very basic and I have given videos on all the topics. So I equals to 0, I less than 10. How the execution happens, you see. This is the first step of execution where you are writing I equals to, where you are writing I equals to 0. So I will be initialized to 0, then condition will be checked. So this is your second step. And then your third step is control will enter inside. Why I have given here, you see the color has value. I have given a red signal here. Why red signal here? Because if this is false, control will not enter inside. So I less than 10 means control will not enter inside and value of I will not be printed. I is initialized to 0, so obviously I is less than 10, so control will enter inside, and what value will be printed for I is, what value will be printed for I is 1. So the first output to be printed will be 1. Okay, I will just write here because it's very silly. Execution is of no use, very silly I have kept, but still I feel this is enough. So I equals to 1. Next I value you are getting incremented. So steps I want to tell you, this is the step number 1. This is your step number. This is your step number. 1 second. This is your step number 1. This is your step number 1. This is step number 2. Then step number 3 is this one. Then step number 4 is it will be incremented, and step number 5 is again condition will be checked. Step number 6 will be again printing the value of I. So value of I will be 2. Value of I will be 2. Output will be 2. So similarly, how long it will be printing? It will be printing 3, then 4, then 5, then 6, then 7, 8, then 9. So when it is 9, at that time, after printing 9, I will be again incremented to 1, that is 10. So 10 is not less than 10. So what will happen? Control will not enter inside. Control will not enter inside. Okay, as control will not enter inside, it will not enter inside. So what will happen in this case? Value of I will not be printed. But what will be the final value of I? Final value of I will become 10. Is it understandable by everyone that value of I has become 10? So outside the loop, if you are repeating the same statement, printf I once again, printf I once again, if I copy and if I print it here, this is output. Let us keep it apart. If I just write it here once again, so what will happen is, if I write here printf, I'm not giving syntax and all, I'm just giving I. If I am printing, suppose %d and all I have given, I am printing the value of I. What will be the value of I? Value of I will become 10. Is it understandable by everyone what I told? Even though my output is 1 to 9, my output is 1 to 9, and Piasha from mechanical output is output is up to from 1 to 9, but what value we are getting printed outside the loop is coming 10, because I has reached up to 10, but 10 is not less than 10, so 10 has not got printed. Okay, let me check this thing or not. So see here, this is of your for loop. Okay, leave those things. Now you see, can I have a for writing like that? Can I write a for like that? I equals to 0 on the top, then for semicolon I less than 10 semicolon.
Yes,
Inside I
ma'am.
am printing
I
the
can
value
write.
of I, then I am incrementing I plus plus. Is it possible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
I
Vikash,
can write.
it is possible.
Yes, ma'am.
You can. Okay, so same thing, if I can write for like that, see, initial condition is not given here. Okay, initial condition is somewhere before, whereas the increment decrement is inside. And one more thing, in this increment I can give even before this also. So what will happen? I is 0. If I give the increment before printf in this place, so I will be incremented to 1, then I will be printed. So 1 will be printed. Okay, so I can write it like this. I can change it in this way. So can I have one equivalent structure of for like that? if I replace for by while, all of you see I equals to 0, then while I less than 10. Okay, then printf %d I and I plus plus. Is it looking like equivalent?
Yes,
All
ma'am.
of you are able to understand? These both are, this top and bottom is looking equivalent. See, initialization is there. Now this is the main your loop control statement, that is while I less than 10. Here also for I less than 10, and printf and I plus plus. So why can't I say while is equivalent to for? So in interview they will be asking you, can you write a structure for which is equivalent to while, or write a structure while which is equivalent to for loop? Okay, so you can write it. I am not explaining the execution once again. Initialized, checking condition, enter inside, print the value, like execute the statement and increment. So it will be giving you the output from 1 to 9. Okay, let us have do while. In do while, how we do is we just write I less than 10. If anyone wants me to execute, I will execute, but it is very simple. I have not even reached to the quiz session of the basics so that I can reach to pointer. Okay, so I'm very sorry for that. If you want me last in chat box, you just write down. If you want the hands-on for that, I'll show you. So do I less than 10. If not, no need to write. Do I less than 10, printf I. So what will be printed? I will, suppose I have initialized, just I have not written, space was not there. I is sorry, I is initialized to 0. Okay, now I am writing I less than 10. Just give me a minute. So do I less than 10, I is just assume I is initialized to 0, and we are printing the I. So 0 will be printed like that, up to 9 will be printed. Now I will be asking you one question. Please answer the question. I am writing here I equals to 100. What will be the output of the program?
Miss 100.
Output will be 100. All of you agree with him? See, I want to terminate the loop if I is less than 10. But whereas I have given the initial value itself 100.
One time.
No, you just take it like that. Just a second. Just take it like that. Do you should not write here. Condition should be here. I less than 10.
Yes, ma'am. 100. Then the output will be 100.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, if at least one time the printf statement is executed in do while loop.
Yeah, you are very true, Kaushiki. So this question will be asked in the interview, that even though you have taken the initial value wrong, that is I equals to 100, but still do loop has printed the value of 100, whereas your terminating condition is while I less than 10, whereas I value is 100, which is not less than 10. Okay, so but still do while loop has executed once. Why? Because it does not check the condition before entering to the loop. It enters to the loop, like it will be entering to the loop, printing the value whatever is initialized to I. Then at the end it will be checking the condition. Okay, see here, I think it's not visible. So it will be checking the condition at the last. So do while execute only once. even though the condition is wrong. So they will be asking you what is the difference between while, for, with, do while. So your answer will be do while will be executing at least once even though the condition is wrong. Okay, so is it understandable by everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
If no, please tell me. Shudip, Shubhajit, please let me know, all of you.
Yes, ma'am. It's understandable.
Okay.
Clear, ma'am.
Ma'am, I understood.
Okay. So now it is a small quiz time. We'll be giving first quiz. Can I get the answer from anyone?
Miss, 5
Ma'am,
times.
CPP bus will be printed 4 times.
4 times.
Miss, 5 times.
It's 5 times.
Sorry, ma'am,
1
5
second.
times.
Ma'am, CPP bus will be printed
1
5
second.
times.
Once again, think once again. I will be giving you the options.
Ma'am, it does not print any time, ma'am. Because for loop, ma'am, one time only. One time only.
Ma'am, error may be
Who is telling one time?
compilation error.
Ma'am, error.
Compilation error.
Ma'am, error occurred.
I will give you one more hint, that is, I will give you one
There
more
is
hint, that is,
semicolon in the for loop.
you see here,
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, there is error because in the for loop line there is semicolon at the end.
All of you, please go through. If anyone is leaving, please join back. Anyone is by chance leaving due to network issues, please
There
join.
is error, ma'am, in the semicolon at the end of the for loop line, ma'am.
Okay, so you are telling error. Okay, so let us come to the point. If you are giving a for loop, if you are writing a for loop, and after that if you are giving a semicolon, Vikash, you want to say anything? You wrote, sorry, like it is for you have not answered, or it is for anything you have not understood. Okay, so when you are writing a for loop and you are giving a semicolon, what will happen? You know, for loop will be executed I equals to 0. Now I will be checked with 5. Yes, Shomodeep, it will print only one time. One more of you, I think Shubhajit, who told it will print only one time. It is hopefully correct. You just see once. See, I is 1, I less than. Network issue is coming from my side.
No, ma'am. It's my side, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, because I thought maybe from my side. So we have not done anything, Kaushiki. We are just in the quiz, first quiz question. So in that, see, I equals to 0, I less than 5, I plus plus. After that, if you see any semicolon, this for loop will not enter inside. For I equals to 0, even though 0 is less than 5, but control will not enter inside. I will be incremented. I will be checked with less than 5 or not. So I is 1. So it is less than 5, 2, 3, 4, up to 4 it is less than 5. So when it is 4, when it is 5, it will be terminating. Okay, so it will be like how can I compare, how can I convince you? It is just like it is a semicolon after for loop, means it has to be completed. Why don't you write semicolon after for? Because you want the control to enter inside. Now in this case, what is happening? You don't want control to enter inside. You want your for statement to be completed. So you have given a semicolon. It's a very well-known question in TCS, CTS, all the company, they will be asking you. So you want the for to be completed. When for will be completed, I will be equals to 5. Okay, so I is 5 means 5 is not less than 5, so control will come outside. For loop is completed for I equals to 5. Now printf CPU bus. So CPU bus will be printed only one time. Is it understandable?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Few more answers I want. I want
Yes,
few
miss.
more participants.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, I think nothing is
Few
printed.
more.
Ma'am, I
Yes,
think
ma'am.
compilation error হবে।
Ma'am, not compilation. I think nothing is printed.
কারণ for a semicolon তো হয় না for a
It will not be compilation
Ma'am, CPP
error.
bus is
So
printed
it will
only
be
one
your
time.
task.
ম্যাম for এর
So
পরে
it
কি
will be
করে
printing only one time. For loop after semicolon. Let me explain.
For loop. But due to the printf line, only
Program
one
is-
time it will be printed, ma'am.
Yes, absolutely correct. Due to the semicolon, for loop will be executing, but it won't execute in its usual manner. It will be completed here. Try to understand why don't we give semicolon after for loop. Many times you might have given, I might have given semicolon after for loop, and it has not got executed. Why? Because if you are giving a semicolon after for loop, it should be completed, then the control will go to next line. Completed means I value should be incremented, and when the terminating condition will break, at that time the completion of for loop will happen. When the terminating condition will reach, when I will become 5, so 5 is not less than 5. Okay, I don't have anything with I now, but still I need to explain. After that semicolon is there, so for loop is over now. Okay, so control will move to next line, one bracket, inside that one printf is there. So printf will be printed as it is only once. It is
So
as
there
if
is
there
no
is no loop.
relation
Loop is,
between two.
there is no relation. Yes, there is no relation now between for loop and that printf statement. For loop will be completed, then the control will come to next line. Whereas if you don't give semicolon, for loop for the value of 0, as the 0 is less than 5, control will be entering inside the for loop, and it will be printing CPU bus. Similarly, 0 to 4 times it will be.
internally.
You just check today, okay? Just check it. Many have agreed. You just check it today. I am there for few days, no problem. We'll start with the advanced. Before that, we should clear it. So I'll move to the next one. Can you tell me the output?
Miss, compilation error.
Ma'am, it will be only
Either A or A, either D.
Ma'am, infinite loop.
Ma'am,
Ma'am,
runtime error.
compilation error because there is no initiation, there is no nothing in the for loop mentioned.
Ma'am, compilation error, right?
One more thing I will tell you. If there is no initiation, if there is no terminating condition, what will happen for a for loop?
It will not working.
It will not be working. Anyone?
Miss, option number D, I guess.
Infinite.
Infinite time.
Ma'am, infinite loop executed. Ma'am, hello will be printed.
As of now, we are taking infinite loop. I want all of you to check with the answer. All of you, please sit with one paper, pencil, or sit with your laptop or whatever it is. Okay.
Ma'am,
So,
runtime error.
Shubhajit Ghosh, you have arrived. Okay. See, all of us are thinking one error. So you should be one ideas. Obviously, I should admire all the ideas. And one more thing I will tell you, if there is a single for loop, what will happen? Will it be different? I am giving 2 for loop and I am giving 1 for loop. Will there be
No,
any
ma'am.
difference?
No, ma'am.
No, miss.
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am,
Just
because
compare
the
this with the
second
next
one is-
quiz.
Ma'am, it will print hello, I think.
Okay, so these two quiz will be given to you tomorrow. In the next session, you will be getting back to me. These are very close to each other. All of you got what is there. See, same question, you just copy it. I'm giving 1 minute of time for semicolon, semicolon. Just you can remember also, you are very young, fresh, and you have so much of memory. So you can easily remember. One, we have given, yes, I am getting some option A, I am getting option B. But instead of guessing, I will tell you, you just work it on that and you let me know the answer.
Ma'am, nothing is printed.
Miss
Nothing is
compilation error
printed.
रहेगा.
Okay.
Miss 2 brackets है
Okay.
last में, तो
Many
वो
things are
compilation
coming.
error
Every day you will have a quiz session. So quiz session, any kind of answer problem, I want all of you to execute it and let me know the answer in the next day. That will be your home task for today. So you have so much of home task. One is watching video and another one is quiz answer. So I have given semicolon after 4 and another one, just previous one, I have not given semicolon after 4. Next one.
Miss, in the previous
This is
question,
simple.
the
I
last
think
two
we can
brackets
conclude here.
Miss, in the previous question, the last
me.
2 brackets in the end was a compilation or it is by mistake you have given? The previous question for loop.
1 second. 1 second, 1 second.
Miss, in the last there is 2 brackets. Yes, Miss, over in this slide only. In the last there are 2 closing brackets.
No.
Error.
My mistake. No. That is not error. Sorry. This is mistake from my side. Okay. Now go through this one. Just correct it. There is no bracket mistake and all. I have not kept that silly things. I just want to make the concept understandable. So today your work is this 2. You should check. Okay. Now you just tell me this output. I think you can conclude. This is simple. We may try to conclude here.
Ma'am, option 2 means B.
Option 2 must be Shomodip. Anyone?
Ma'am, option 2, I think.
Next.
Ma'am,
Arnav is
option
telling,
B.
Shomodip is telling option B.
Ma'am,
Okay.
option 2 only.
Anyone? Option 2 only. So let
Ma'am,
us
it's
check
ma'am,
because
option
you
B.
all have agreed to the point.
Ma'am, it's D. I
Yes,
think.
option B. Why it is option B? Here just I want to let you know that 2 initialization together is possible. Here giving this question behind that the idea is you can have 2 declaration, but if you have 2 declaration, what should be in between them? There should be a comma. Just I will try to focus it. When it is 2 initialization, there should be a comma in between. Okay, then semicolon, then terminating condition. So you can even give 2 terminating condition, you can give 2 increment decrement also. As I cannot teach each and every basic, its training is not made for that, so I have not given. So that is the allowed option. So as of now we'll check I equals to 0. So I will be 0 first, then J will be equals to 0. Okay, then after that what will happen? I is getting incremented, but J is not getting incremented. So I is getting incremented, I is becoming 1. So I value next time will be 1 and J value, you see here we are not at all incrementing I value, J value. So J will remain same. So in your interview when they will ask the question, instead of checking, what you can do is you just eliminate the answers. Okay, see first one cannot be true because there should be 2 printf, which is not there. Compilation error may be there, that we have to think. Check for the output. See 2 output should come, so let us take it 0 0. So next one I is getting incremented to 1. So 1 and 0. So next output we got is 1 and 0. So similarly you can easily understand I will be keep on incrementing up to 4 and J is not getting incremented. So even though we don't execute, but still if I execute I cannot finish the basic only. So this is 440 should be the output. You have another confusing answer D, which will not be correct because here J is getting incremented, whereas we have not incremented J. So we can conclude it. Okay, so next one, if you can see. See, two I have given for home task. This anyone, just 1 minute time.
This number C, option 1.
Number C, option 1. I will not confuse you anymore. I will not ask you to execute. Why it is? Because see, this is a nested for loop. I just wanted to introduce nested for loop here because I could not able to teach because of time. So this is one for loop and J for loop is inside I for loop. So how the execution takes place is I will be initialized to 0, then control will enter inside and J will be taken as 0 until and unless J becomes 5. For loop will be executing. Then when J loop will be terminating, control will come up and I will be completed. Okay, so when I will be completed, I will be equals to 1. So for I equals to 1, again control will enter inside, J should be 0 to 4. So like that I was supposed to print count many times, 5 into 4, maybe 5 into 5 25 times, or 5 into 4, whatever. But here you see we have given a semicolon. So we want first for loop to be executed completely, second for loop to be executed completely. So count was initialized to 0. So count, it is just like your first quiz or second quiz question. So I think you are clear with that. 2 for loops will be ma'am, my microphone is not working. No problem. If your microphone doesn't work, you can write the answer in chat box and at least you can see your understanding. Okay, so count will be incremented only once. So when we'll print the value of count, it will be 1. Next is your array structure union pointer. I will not do array much. I will just, because it is the same session I am showing presentation which I don't like to show. So I will be just showing you one picture. Okay, I see some fun pictures are there for array insertion, array deletion. All of you are able to see linear search, binary search. So some fun pictures are there which when you will be monotonous, please feel free to tell. Will be explaining. Just I have made so many excels for you. This is a explanation for pointer. This is made for you for understanding the pointer diagrammatically. All the array of pointer to array, pointer to function, pointer to structure, which I may not get opportunity to continue with today. So here you just see the array. Okay, instead of seeing the slide. Like same thing again and again, it creates some monotony in our mind. Okay, so otherwise okay, if you can see, you can see other screen also, but time is very less, so you can go through this one. See, int a equals to 10. I am taking 10 elements of array. I am reserving. Suppose in this screen you see, suppose if I am taking one array of 4 elements. Okay, so in this case what will happen? Suppose I have a cornflakes stored here, I have a Kellogg's stored here, and assume this is big, so this is a floating point, and this is small, so this is integer, and I have taken one array of character. Okay, and character is small, 4 elements array. So where I will allocate this array, obviously the answer will be in the 4th row. So as it is a character array, character occupies smallest memory. So I am giving here the seeds. This is your floating point, this is your integer. So I am giving here the seed. So this is the allocation for array. Array is a continuous allocation of memory, sequential allocation of memory, and all the elements in the array should have same data type. Char 4 means it should be, all elements should be character. I cannot have 3 characters and 1 integer stored in the array. Okay, I must be having 4 characters to be stored in the array. But again, I don't know, you will be confused or not. Still I want to tell, in a character array you can store integer. In this case, array inside the array, as character integer will be stored. Like your character array content may be 1, 2, 3, 4, but here you don't expect 1 to be added with +1. It will be treated as a character. Okay, Vaibhav Acharya, you have arrived again. Please feel free to tell if somewhere you have missed. Okay, so this is what the array is. It is a collection of homogeneous data type which will occupy sequential or continuous memory in your computer memory. Okay, so that is what your array concept is. Okay, so if you are you can just change the screen. You can just change the screen. Okay, so array array insertion, deletion, and array linear search, binary search. This I will do on demand when you will feel bored, because array I won't go in details. You can just see once and you can understand. Array is a collection of homogeneous data types. So you see here, array name is A and array name is A, and I have stored 10 elements. I can store 10 elements in the array. I can store 10 elements means what? Maximum element I can store in the array should be 10. And why we use array? First of all, I want to tell you, suppose I want to store all your marks in the array, all your class students marks or your name in a data type, in a data structure. So what I should tell is, what should I do is, shall I take 40 variable for 40 students name, 40 variable for 40 students marks? Never ever I will do. If I know all the marks are of same data type, in this case what will happen, I will be taking one array and I will be storing all the marks in the array I have used. Okay, so int 10 means all 10 elements should be your marks or should be your some value which is integer, like your age. Okay, now scanning of array, as you know, for loop you can increment, for or while loop you can increment one by one, and you can perform the iteration. So in this I should be initialized to 0. So I equals to 0 means a of I should be a of 0. See here with the help of the diagram. So first index of the array is 0th index, and where I am storing the element 1. Now for loop will be iterated once again. So I will be equals to 1. So I am scanning the element of A1. Okay, so which index I am reading? 1. And what value I have entered? 10. Similarly, I will be equals to 2, 3, 4, and I will move up to n. What is n? N is the option you are giving to me. You are designing the program and you are giving me the option n, so that out of 10 memory location, I may not have need to reserve all 10 locations. I may have need of reserving 5 locations or 4 locations. Okay, so it is my option. I can give the value n. My n may be 5 here or 6 here. Suppose here my n is 6. So I could able to, because I want to insert 10, 20, 60, 30, 40 and 50. Okay, or say my n is 5. I have taken n equals to 5. I want to insert 5 elements in the array. Okay, so I have given the option of n equals to 5. Now why this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4? As it is like in your locality your house number may be 100. Okay, so just now I showed you with that chana dal, that chana, that first location was occupied by one dal, second location, third location, and fourth location. So first location address may be 100. That may be the address of the array in the memory. Like your house number may be 100 in your locality, but with respect to your house, your first room is 0th room, second room is first room, third room is second room. So with respect to array, within the array your first location is 0th location, second location is 1, third location is 2, fourth and fifth location, like that. So this index just goes 1 minus the original, because first element of the array, when the array is built inside the compiler, it is built as if that it will take the first location as a 0th location. So you and me, when we are inserting the element in the array, we are supposed to enter the first element in the 0th location. Otherwise, what will happen if I start with 1? My first element will not be there. First element will not be there. Element will start entering from the 0th location. Okay. Is there any doubt in array insertion? I am not discussing insertion. I am just discussing normal array creation and creation of array. What is pointer? Pointer is a variable in C language which stores the address of another variable. You can see here. One second. You can see here. You have declared one int a equals to 5. Please see the left side and all the color I have mentioned according to like which color what is happening. Like gray color I have given. So for gray color what is happening, you see next. See, I have written name, value and address. Okay, in the Excel sheet you can see I have written name, value and address. This is name. This is name, value and address. So when you are declaring int a equals to 5, what is happening? 5 is getting allocated to a memory location. Let's say the memory location is 2000. So address of the memory location is 2000 where 5 is getting initiated. Name of the variable is a. Now we are declaring a pointer in star ptr. So what is happening? There is one more variable getting created which is just see the blue color only, don't see the green color part. So what is happening? One ptr variable is getting allocated, and let's say that it is getting allocated in memory location 4000. Okay, so now what you are doing, you are writing ptr equals to ampersand a. So writing this means what? Ampersand is the address of operator. So you are allocating address of a inside the variable, inside the pointer ptr. So your ptr is a pointer variable in C language which is capable of storing the address of an integer variable. Remember, if you have taken a equals to 5, that is here the a is integer, your pointer also should be of type integer. One integer pointer only can store the address of one integer variable. Here it cannot be, this one is character and this one is integer. Now let us clear the meaning of green color. ptr equals to ampersand a. So it means what? Ampersand a is what? A is a variable 5 whose address is 2000. So you are assigning, you are not assigning, you are asking compiler to assign 2000 inside ptr. Okay, so 2000 is assigned inside ptr. ptr equals to ampersand a. It means address of a, that means address of 5 is 2000 which is assigned inside ptr.